Hi everyone. I've been getting messages from people asking me, hey Leon, have you stopped making YouTube videos? What's going on? Have you stopped making movies and shows altogether? Um, it has been quite a while since I put anything on YouTube, so yeah, I thought I'd better get back on the horse and say hello to everyone. I've actually been doing this. It's January and I am clearly overweight. So yeah, that thing says I'm 43. I'm actually 45. It just shows you how long it's been since I've bothered. And I love this little thing. It's not actually helped me lose weight over the years though. I'm fat. 109.8 kilos. That's 200 and I'd say around 220 pounds. You're looking at 220 pounds. It's 109.8 kilos. Okay. Alright, so that's me. That's me, and that's me on the scales. What I haven't mentioned and haven't said to my wife is I just went for a bit of a walk around the building and then checked my heart rate. Now, the walk around the building was, I'm maybe I jumped, maybe I like jogged a little bit, but it's not a big building. We're talking about a slow jog for about 500 meters, and my heart rate is about 170. So that to me, I googled it. That is pretty bad for, for anybody. That's right up there with the whole heart attack things, I think. Now, when I was in my early 20s, I did have what the doctor called inflammation of the aorta, which is the left thing on my heart, and a mild heart attack. So I stopped exercising back when I was early 20s, and I haven't really done anything since. Um, doctor's advice, don't exercise, was what the advice was back then. I'm not blaming the doctor because obviously I'm still alive today, but uh, I need to change that now. I need to correct that lifestyle, or maybe I won't live an awful lot longer. So yeah, I don't want to be jumping into a lot of exercise because if just a quick little thing around the building gives me 170 heart rate, I think that's kind of dangerous for me to be exercising with a heart rate like that to lose weight. So what I'm going to do, we eat meat. We eat meat 3 times a day. We love it. Um, I do often say to my wife, let's cut back a little bit on the meat, but it's not exactly, I mean, I can't exactly blame her for me. I'm the one who eats the food, and I do enjoy it. So yeah, maybe it's time to cut back on the meat. I eat a lot of treats. I eat a lot of little lollies and things like that. I don't eat chocolates because I'm lactose intolerant. So I don't have the dairy. I don't have the cheeses. I don't have the milk. I don't have the cream. Um, I think the biggest culprit's got to be three meats a meal. All right, so yeah, stay tuned. All right. Well, it's been 2 weeks and I still haven't adjusted the programming on this thing. I'm wearing shorts now, which is different. Probably should make it so that I'm 45, 106 after 2 weeks. I think what's happened there is definitely, um, getting rid of the stuff that's in my bowels. I don't think this is weight loss yet. 106, that's, what's that, nearly 4 kilos or 8 point something pounds? All right, well, I've just jumped off the scales and feeling pretty good after that. I think what's happened there, though, I don't think that's weight loss. I think that's just I had a lot of meat in my stomach, and now a good portion of that meat has left my bowels. That just shows you, I mean, that's the variance. I'm not willing to say to myself in any way that I've lost that much weight in that short a time frame from changing my diet in any way whatsoever. I think what's happened there is quite obviously I'm putting lighter foods into my stomach. I'm reducing how many meals I'm having, and I've got an empty bowl as opposed to a full bowl. Um, what am I doing? I've kind of tried to increase the sandwich intake and try to decrease the steak intake. It's difficult because we have a freezer full of meat, and we buy it when it's cheap and we can freeze it. The same can't be said for fruit and veg because it goes bad if you don't use it pretty darn quick. So I guess the race is on to use it before it turns into mush. Whereas any old time I can just pull a steak out or a sausage out, stick it in the oven, stick it on the grill, and there's a meal. Ta-da! Um, chops are my ready meal, and trying to cut that down, we've gotten sandwich meat, which is thinly sliced meat, and then we have it in sandwiches. So that's kind of the goal right now, is to get rid of a lot of the big meat meals, and the meat meals have maybe one meat meal a day, and turn it from being a big chunky steak every single time into being sandwich meat. I don't know, maybe having a steak once or twice a week. So we'll see. I'm going to be weighing myself every second Sunday, and that way I'll be able to monitor the whole situation. But my goal weight apparently is about 70 something or 80 kilos. It's 160, 100, I don't know, 170, 180 pounds thereabouts for guesstimating, and I don't do that weight scale thing. So yeah, we'll go 80 kilos. That's a fit Leon. So that's my goal. If I can lose that over the next, I don't want to rush it because I don't want to cause heart problems. And I'm not a big jogger. I'm not keen on that sort of stuff. So I'm not really looking at exercise. I'm just looking at food intake control, and see what I can do there. Okay. Bye. So after the last occasion, I decided I was going to weigh myself from now on wearing not an awful lot of clothing. You can read from that what you will. It's been another couple of weeks. Sunday every week. Well, Sunday every 2 weeks right now. And I'm down to 103.4. That's not bad, I guess. Yeah, well, it's better. I mean, it's still pretty obese. That's a cat. His name is Tesla. He's cool. Okay. That's me. It's been another couple of weeks, and just weighed myself. Feeling actually pretty good about the results now. I don't know. I've got a long way to go, and I think now what I'm looking at is it's going to slow right down. It's what I've been reading anyway. Once you've done that initial weight loss, which I'm guessing is, it's got to be clearing out the gut. Once you get rid of all of that and you're down to your actual weight, it's going to be slow going. So I don't know. I think I'm going to weigh myself a little bit more often, and I'm still not willing to jump out there and start exercising heavily. I think a walk around the building is probably plenty. It's winter right now. It's still very cold outside. So yeah, I don't exactly want to go out. I'm a lazy person. Lazy and a little bit round in the old girth. So yeah, one step at a time, and talk to you later. All right. You know what? I'm going to swap this up to doing it every Sunday, every single Sunday, because the weight loss seems to be a little bit. That's not bad. 101.6, and there goes my loyal steed. He hangs around. Okay, 101.6 tells me that I'm still pretty darn fat. But hey, you know what? That's not that bad, I guess. So what we had, oh look, the age says 45. I've updated it. Yay for me! Holy crap. Yeah, come on, that's pretty good. I've just woken up and I'm saying I'm 100.1. So not bad. The goal was 100. So I don't know what the goal was really. Right. So I'm going to try and lose. My goal is to do about it's got a little thing on it. It tells me how many calories I'm burning, and it tells me my pulse rate. I guess as good as this sort of machine can do. So my goal really would be to find a way. It's not very difficult. It's a great height. Yeah, that's I can do with this all day, sure. I want to try and burn off a meal, which is somewhere around 500 calories. If I burn off one meal a day while reducing my food intake, then, I mean, my weight used to be stable. It used to be regular. I was overweight, I was seriously obese, but it was consistently obese. Now, if I can lose one of those meals per day through this sort of machine, then I've got to lose weight. It just seems logical to me. I've got to do it though without the heart rate going up too high. So what's to say my heart rate is? My heart rate is flying upwards right now, but I think that's as the machine calculates. It's leveling off. It's leveling off at 115. My pulse is right now 115, and you can see how long I've been on the machine for. So this seems like a fairly reasonable pace. I'm not exerting myself. I'm not hurting myself. I'm looking at all these other machines in the room, and I've got no interest in pumping iron. I did that when I was a young fellow, and it got me into trouble. And I'm a fairly strong person still. I mean, I'm not fit, but I'm physically strong. So I've got no real. What do I need to? Am I going to be attacked by a gym in a back alley somewhere? Am I going to be attacked by a bunch of heavy weights somewhere in an alley? I don't think so. Do I need to push start a truck anytime soon? I don't think so. I've got no real reason to try and make my muscles look pretty. I'm not a pretty boy. My goal really is to get rid of this excessive weight that's around my girth and my fat. Get rid of some of that without hurting my heart. The best way to do that, from what I can tell, is to burn off the excess calories that I'm bringing in every day and reduce the number of calories that I'm bringing in every day. So it's been a few weeks now. I don't know how long I've been at this for now. Not exercising, but trying to control my eating habits. I've been doing that now for well over a month, I suppose. Now that I've got a reasonable pattern and a set intake, and I'm noticing that my weight is going down, now it's time to try and do something like this without hurting myself. It says I'm already up to 100 something calories. Maybe that's more the talking than it is the pedaling. Pulse rate is hovering at, well, it was at 121 a moment ago. Now it's at 118. So, 121. Okay, my pulse rate is hovering at 120. That's not too bad. Considering my age, I'm taking 180, I'm minus some 45 from that. Brings it down to 135. I really want to try and keep my pulse rate under 135 whilst exercising, and do this long enough to burn 500 calories. This thing tells me how far I've ridden, which is interesting because I'm not going very far. Like, nobody's holding that camera. This room is staying fairly stationary in relation to the Earth. But yeah, so it can tell me how far it thinks I've travelled and tell me how many calories I'm going through, which is the important number for today, for every day. Obviously, I can't do this every day. All right. Sunday morning. Let's do this thing. Whoop. There we Alright, 99. Well, that's a kilo a week. I think, I've got to have reached a point now, because, let's turn this thing around. I've got to have reached a point now where what's in my stomach and body is literally me. So I'd say as of now, I've reached the point that my body was neutral at, not fully fed, not with a full belly or anything like that. My daily routine still needs a couple of tweaks. So what I'm doing right now is get up in the morning, take a vitamin D because I believe in witchcraft. Take a vitamin B because if you're going to do something silly, you might as well double down on it. Have a cup of coffee because I'm addicted to caffeine, so I try to fight that, but I still have a coffee every day, maybe even two. Oh well, there's my little secrets out now. The tea drinker also drinks coffee. Kick back for about a half an hour. My wife goes to work, and then I go downstairs, pedal for half an hour, and try to keep the heart rate at about a 134, 135 tops. And that's how I start my day. I have 2 slices of dry toast during the day. That's, I guess, kind of my brunch, breakfast, lunch. And then afternoon, I'll have a banana or two oranges, or a piece of fruit or 2 pieces of fruit. And then come dinner time, I eat dinner with my missus. So that's how my day flows. I left out, obviously, I go to the bathroom first thing in the morning. That needs to be corrected. I need to be going to the bathroom at night before bed. So I need to be having my dinner and then a few hours later hitting the bathroom and, having a bath, getting myself ready for a good night's sleep. That's the last behavioural correction that I really need to do. But, training those bowels is not an easy thing. So, I'll work on that. Once that's it, once that's down pat, then, the routine should be happy and good. And in the morning, on Sunday mornings, I jump on this thing and it tells me that I've lost weight or haven't lost weight. Right now, I'm losing a kilo a week. I don't want to be pessimistic. I'd love to be an optimist, but I suspect that dropping will slow down. Like, I've been losing a kilo a week every week, so that can't keep on happening. That has to be a transitional stage, something like that. And then once my body levels out to what it's considering to be a healthy norm, then I will lose weight based on my exercise and based on my meal habits, rather than based on some kind of a sudden change, which is what's happened so far. So I would predict that I should be losing about a half a kilo, or 1.2 pounds, 1.1 pounds, I don't know what, thereabouts, every week. I should lose a pound a week once everything levels out. And if I'm losing a pound a week, we're looking at 40 weeks for me to reach a healthy level. Get rid of the 20 kilos, the 40 pounds, be down to the 80 kilograms, 170 thereabouts pounds, and consider myself to be a slightly overweight, healthy, normal human being with good eating habits and sleeping patterns. Hope upon hope. Well, it's been a week, and I'm back in the gym. I've been in the gym. Well, this is my 6th time in the gym. It's looking a bit messy in here. I haven't actually touched anything. I just walk in, hop on the bike, and pedal, and then walk out. But yeah, I don't know if it's always been this messy or if I'm just noticing it, but it's looking pretty dank around here. Things are left untidy and left laying about. I don't know, maybe I like the place to be a little bit clean where I'm pedaling a bike for no reason. I don't know. Anyway, I've been riding the bike for a week. Try to keep it at 500 calories on the thingamajig, and try to keep the heart rate at about 135 is what I'm averaging. That usually takes me close to half an hour, a bit under half an hour. So that's not too bad. I'm using half an hour of my day, but burning off a meal that I would eat in 5 minutes. Do the math. Anyway, I am noticing it is very boring in here. You're sitting on a bike and you're pedaling, and you know, I'm looking at my fans, and that's about it for half an hour. So I've got this tablet thing that I'm recording the videos on, and I've installed a guitar note tuning app thing that helps you tune your guitar, but you can also listen to chords and learn what they sound like. So I figure I'm hopeless at anything to do with music and sound. I played the app for the first time just before pressing the record button today, and you know, level 1, it's giving you it's giving you a G and a D. I can't tell the difference. They sound like a sound, and they sound the same. I'm really bad at it, but I figure if I've got nothing better to do for half an hour a day, I might as well listen to a G and a D that sound the same until I can figure out the difference. Maybe get an ear for music. I don't know. I've always kind of envied the people who can distinguish the different musical notes when they're hearing music, and you know, oh, is that in C? Yeah. I don't know, maybe one step in that direction at the same time as pedaling a whole heap of steps in no direction. I probably shouldn't be down on this bike riding thing, considering I'm doing it all the time. You know, whee, pedal, pedal, pedal. That's me. But you know, we've got to bag out on something now and then. Okay, anyway, I'm going to get back to my silly game, and also the little thing has switched off, so I can't monitor my heart rate this second. Oh no, I might die. Yeah, so I'm going to switch that back on, see exactly how I'm going. There's a clock in the corner, and I can check the time. This thing's switched off for God only knows what reason, but as long as I'm on here pedaling at the consistent rate, with my heart rate not going above 135 for 20 to 25 minutes, I know I'm doing 500 calories because that's what's happened every day for the last week. Okay, talk to you later. Alright, here we are. It's Sunday. Time to do this thing. Oh, I've got to press that button. That always helps. Well, it doesn't help, it just tells me horrible information all the time. $98.3. So Sunday, another week, and I've lost 0.7 of a kilo. I'm wearing long pants as opposed to the short pants. I don't know. I'd like to think that that weighs in on it. I kind of doubt it though. I think this weighs in on it more. Yeah, it ain't getting any better. Well, it is. So, there we go, sucking it in. Yeah, what's it, another week and almost a kilo. I'm going from a kilo a week down to, what was that, 0.7 of a kilo? 700 grams? I don't know, a bit over a pound. Nearly a pound and a half, thereabouts, who knows, pound, whatever. Yay! Still losing a reasonable amount of weight. In other words, the good news about this is I haven't stopped. Yeah. The good camera stopped. The good news is I haven't stopped losing weight yet. It's still coming down. It's slowed down a little bit from the kilo a week. I'm still exercising. Well, I'm exercising more, and I'm losing less weight. I don't know the deal there, but like I've said before, I think what my previous weight loss has been is just my body getting rid of all the excess to the point where it levels out. And like I said last week, I think I've leveled out. I think I've stopped doing that kilo a week drop, and it should start to slow down and taper and just start to gradually lose weight now. So I would expect half a kilo a week from here on would be a lovely amount. If every week I lost half a kilo, I would be so happy with myself. 1 pound a week would be incredible. I've been losing 2 and a bit. 1 would be great if I can maintain that rather than leveling out and putting any back on. You know, the disappointing thing here is, years ago, I would have been about 30 years old, and I hopped on a set of scales. I weighed about 110 kilos, you know, and I looked at it and went, ooh, that's horrible. I've really put on a lot. At the time, I didn't realize I was lactose intolerant, and I was eating cheesecakes every day, pavlovas and cheesecakes every day. So I really deserved to be obese at the time. So I stopped eating the cheesecakes and the pavlovas, and it was about 3 weeks, and I was down to about 85 to 90 kilos. It just dropped 20 kilos in no time at all. And here I am now, a bit over a decade and a half later, and the metabolism slows down, the life pattern, you know, here I am now trying to lose weight. I'm putting more effort into it now than I did then. I wasn't exercising then. I was eating horrible food then. I just got rid of the cheese and the pavlovas, and the weight dropped right off. But I'm not eating cheese and pavlovas now. I'm actually eating a healthier diet now than I ate after I corrected my diet back then. And I'm exercising now. I wasn't exercising then, and I'm finding it a lot harder now to lose the weight than I did then. So I guess the lesson in this is, when you're young, try really hard not to become a blimp, because as you get older, a bloke in his mid-40s is going to find it really hard to lose the weight that he found easy to control 10 years, 15 years ago. What is the difference between an EM and a C? They sound identical. I'm fairly sure C, or middle C, is what they use on a keyboard. Before they play a piano, they have to figure out where middle C is. I'm fairly sure C is a note that's, you know, a groovy note to know. I cannot tell the difference between it and an EM for the life of me. One sounds like this, doo. The other sounds like this, doo. I'm not doing them justice. They're the same note. Admit it. Somebody made an app that plays the same sound with different letters of the alphabet, randomly configures them, and then plays that same sound and goes, "You're wrong. This time you're right. This time you're wrong. This time you're right." Joys. Anyway, back on the bike, keeping my heart rate at 135. I am sweating a little bit, but you know, I'm also feeling fairly good about it lately, which is great news. I really didn't want to come in here today. I mentally made up a lot of excuses about wanting to sit on the couch and how important it was for me to watch a TV show that I couldn't figure out which one it was, but I'm sure it was out there on the internet somewhere. And I thought, no, that might be a fool's errand. I'm far better off sitting in one spot and pedaling. That makes a lot more sense. So here I am, failing at a guitar tuning, note learning app that's out to get me. Yep, another bike ride. For the first time in a long time, today, under this, I felt old Leon. Sort of on the sides there, I could feel me. The original me, the guy who's deep down inside this thing. I swallowed him, you see. This is just a suit I'm wearing. I'm wearing a Leon suit. There's more than one of me in here. On the floor over there, there's a weight next to a yellow bowl. The weight on the ground there says 20.4 kgs. It is or 45 pounds. It is a very large, round, heavy looking metal thing. It's made of metal, it's heavy, and it's very large. And it weighs as much as I want to lose. I am carrying in that, all over this thing, I am carrying that 45-pound metal disc that looks like it belongs at the Olympics. I am an Olympic athlete's weight pressing tool. I am a tool. Yep. So here I am, pedaling for the life of it again. Secret confessions time, because it's me and all my friends in here. I haven't washed this or these. They were clean when I first started the workouts, because I did wash them before I first started the workouts, but you know, I'm not overly sweaty, I'm just a little bit moist. That's a justification. It's half an hour, 5 days a week. Is it really? It's not like I'm contaminated. It's not like manure's falling from the sky or I'm rolling around in filth. It's just me. Nobody sees this outfit but me. And my goal is to wear it until I think, ooh, this smells horrible, and then not wash it. Decide that it no longer fits me and it's time to purchase something smaller that does. So yeah, I'm gonna wear this to its grave or mine. Bye. That puts a major dampening on my exercising. Alright, here we are, Sunday, another week. I'm in my aptly named Forever Lazy. Oops, bumped the wrong button somewhere. Here we go. $97.9, so not really much of a loss. The gym has been out of order for the last week. I haven't been able to go down there and exercise at all. So, I don't know, maybe I'm glad I haven't put on weight and I haven't been able to do the gym. That is an excuse though. That's an excuse because, you know, I'm wearing a Forever Lazy. If I was serious about this, I probably wouldn't be wearing this. But no, you know, not going down the gym every day for the last week. 97, here's where I'm sitting, 97.9. It's not a big loss. It's not a loss at all, really. But, you know, I'll keep going. I'm still reducing what I intake, trying to cut out all the sugars, trying to cut out all the fattiness. We've halved the size of our meal portions, so what we were eating for dinner, we've gone down to half, and now when we eat that, it seems like a lot. So we actually went to the casino the other day. We went to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I grabbed a very small, it's all you can eat, and I grabbed very small portions, had one plate of food, and I struggled with that, and then I went and grabbed myself a couple of strawberries and a little bit of desserty sort of fruit stuff, and kind of forced myself to eat that stuff, which usually I'd hose down, you know, 3 or 4 plates and go, whoa. One plate and I felt really obese from it, and I still feel guilty for eating so much, but it was all you could eat. Anyway, another week. We'll keep on working at it, and we'll see how we go. Here we go. Another week, another day, another dollar, another week, another weight loss test. I have noticed that this thingamajig that I weigh myself on, 96.4. I've noticed it gives me this thing, 22.1. It keeps telling me my fat percentage. I think that's got to do with, it's got to be something electrical based on these metal pads. If I hop out of the bath this morning, it's going to tell me while I've got wet feet that apparently I have less fat. So, I don't know, that's a little bit crazy. If I put water on my feet right now, apparently I have less fat in my body. But we all know that I have a fair amount of fat in my body. That's me still. I don't know how I'm doing there. I guess I'll let the world be the judge of that. Still working on it. Hello. So I'm still not able to get into the gym room down in the basement. It's still apparently getting repairs, something to do with water in the walls. I don't know. But that's me tub. Still losing weight. That's great news. Every week a little bit more. Right now it really is just purely cutting back on the intake. Now I'm not being completely vicious about the cutback on intake. The other day we came back from Calgary and it was late in the afternoon. Said to the missus, hey, let's have pizza. I can't do dairy, so for me pizza is cheeseless pizza where the ingredients are falling off, because in Canada they haven't figured out that you can use an egg as a binding tool, much like, I don't know, like they do in cakes and bread. You can use an egg on top of your pizza to stop ingredients from falling off if there's no cheese to glue it all together. They haven't worked that out yet, so yeah, cheeseless pizza for me means a piece of bread with all the ingredients sitting on the ground when I pick up the slice. They all fall off. So it was a big size pizza. It was, I guess they call them a family size. It's a big pizza. One for her, one for me. And I ate my whole pizza. It took me 2 goes. I ate half of it in one night and half of it the next morning. I felt very guilty. But I hate leftovers and I hate waste, so it sounds crazy, but that's the truth. If you put it on my plate, I'm going to eat it, because I can't stand the idea of chucking food out when other people don't have enough food. So yeah, if I'm losing weight and I've still got the attitude of not every day, not every meal, but every now and then, there is no problem with just eating something, having a great old time of it. Last night we had like 2 hamburgers, I suppose you'll call them. That was, what do they call that? Meatloaf stuff. Meatloaf sandwich burgers. It was huge. I'm eating healthy. I'm eating reasonably healthy, meaty and vegetable meals. I'm eating often enough. I'm just cutting back on. I'm not having those snacks. I'm serious about that. I'm not eating the sugary candies. I'm getting rid of all the candies from my stomach, and yeah, that's me now. One day at a time. All right, here we go. Got to beat 96.4 as far as I know. It's Sunday. 95.5. Well, that's pretty darn good. Another Sunday. Still looking like a tub. Actually, I've got to learn how to control this thing. I don't know. I'm not giving myself very good direction, that's for sure. I'm starting to think maybe the weight loss is all in my mind. There's not a lot going on in there. So I'm not exactly heavy with thought, weighed down with opinion. Get it? Anyway, so yeah, another week, doing all right. All I'm really doing is not eating the junk. I still can't get into that gym room, and it's kind of frustrating me. But maybe I don't need it. I don't know. I'm just starving to death here. I am hungry. On a daily basis, I'm hungry, but I'm telling myself something interesting. That feeling I get, that desire, that craving that goes on in my body, that is the enemy. That's what that is. That is the enemy. I hate that thing, and when I feel it, I know I'm angry at it. I'm angry at it for controlling me, for making me do something I don't want to do. I want to eat the right amount of food. I don't want to eat excessive amounts of food. And this feeling makes me eat more than I want to eat. And so I hate it. When I feel that feeling, rather than reaching for a a muesli bar, or rather than reaching for a piece of food or whatever, rather than going to the leftovers and seeing if there's a steak from yesterday, what I'm doing is I'm going, well, that's it. I'm going to go to war with that feeling and simply not have it. Go and drink myself a cup of tea and just cry silently to myself. The weeping. Maybe I'll lose a couple of calories through the tears. I don't know. But, I'm not exactly, I know I say I'm starving, but that's the feeling. I'm eating often enough. I'm eating every day. I'm eating 2, 3 meals a day. I'm just really reducing what I eat and eating when I tell myself it is appropriate and the amount that I tell myself is appropriate. And I commit to it. I'm committing to what I eat before I eat it. So it doesn't, I'm telling myself, I used to have this mindset of whatever's on the plate, whatever's in the kitchen, can't leave leftovers. And I think that's from the childhood. That's definitely from the upbringing. That's from me saying to myself as a kid, the starving children in Ethiopia or in Africa or whatever. That was a generational thing. That was something that we all told ourselves, and it was bad. It really was bad because it locks in this mindset of you must consume everything. Now what I tell myself is this is how much I'm going to eat, regardless of how I feel after I've eaten it. I will stop when I've eaten that amount, and then I will not touch anything for at least half an hour to an hour. Looking at 45 minutes there, where that feeling in my body is simply a battle between the mind and the body. And after that 45 minutes, the feeling goes away, the hunger goes away, and I know that I've succeeded for another day, for another meal. If it hasn't gone away after an hour, then I say, you know what? All right, you win. I'm going to hit the kitchen. I'm going to find myself a handful of cracker thingamajigs or something like that. Maybe a piece of fruit. Just, surrender to the fact that it's one for the day. And know that every week I'm still hopping on that scale. And every week I'm not going up in weight. I'm either going down or I'm staying the same. So it's working. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Last Sunday, 95.5, I think. Yeah, walking and looking through this thing at the same time. Not an easy game. 95.1? Sounds fair. So what, this week I've lost 0.4. That is not really much of a loss, but I mean it's pretty darn close to that half a kilo that I was talking about. So 1 pound or 1.1 pound or something like that. There I am. Ta-da! Once again. So weight loss tip number 2,427 coming your way. According to the internet, it makes more sense to eat lots of little meals throughout the day to control your hunger pains, because if you eat less calories than you burn, you're going to lose weight, but simply reducing the number of meals you eat leaves you hungry, and if you're hungry, you're driven to eat, and then you're not going to stick to your whole goal of having less calories intake than you burn in an average day. So that's their thing. Eat 4 or 5, small little meals. I'm not really geared towards that though. That might be a wonderful template, but it doesn't work for me. I'm the kind of person that likes to go a long time and then eat. And breaking that habit is difficult. So I'd much rather have a smaller meal and battle the hunger pains. That's probably because I don't generally have an addictive personality. So I've got the ability to say no to things. Some people, they start gambling, they gamble. They start smoking, they smoke. They use drugs, they use drugs. They play a game, they're hooked. I don't get hooked on things that often. I'm not that kind of person. So, I'd like to say that these hunger pains are not an addiction. They're an actual hunger. And that means I can deal with them. I can battle them. I can say no to them. I don't have the addictive personality that's drawn to have. So, I think people with addictive personalities may end up being the ones who have 4 or 5 meals because, that's what addiction does. It drives you to have more and more and more of things. And, to me, it just seems illogical to say, I plan to lose weight by reducing what I eat, so I'm going to eat more often. No, not for me. That's not working for me. For me, what works is I will have less. This is how much I should have, and I am going to battle that pain that says, please have more. And it's there constantly. It's not like it gets less every week. It's a daily, constant reminder that my body wants more than it currently has to sustain the size that it currently is. Whereas my goal is different to what my body's goal is. My body's goal is to maintain the weight that it's currently at. No matter, every day my body is saying, today I weigh this much, I must maintain that weight. Give me food. And my goal is, no, you have to have less. You're going to get smaller. Alright. I'm at 95.1 last week. Here we go. Oh, see, it went from 94. Oh, it just bounced up to 3 and then back down to 2. Phew. Come on, that's not too bad. That's 94.2. Effectively, almost another kilo. Almost another kilo. Yay! Today's tip from a tool. Let's keep it short. Don't aim to be skinny. I'm feeling really good about this result today. I really am. I earned this. Don't aim to be skinny. Just work out how old you are. Go on the old internet thing. Work out how old you are. Work out what weight you're supposed to be for your height. Maybe look at how much food somebody of that weight eats. And say to yourself, that's who I'm going to be. It's not a diet. It's a behaviour. It's a way of being. So, yay, it's still working. It's still going. I'm feeling really good. I mean, that was just shy of a kilo in a week. I'm still losing a reasonable amount of weight. What's going on now, this hunger pain, what I'm working out for myself here is there's not an awful lot of stuff in here other than fat now. It's not like I have to flush anything, so I'm losing actual weight now. And the actual weight that I'm losing is not just fat, it's a combination of fat and excess skin because my body was bigger, it was stretched. So I'm feeding on myself. My body is cannibalizing itself. That cannibalism that's happening, that's the pain. You would hurt too if you were being eaten alive. And that's what my body's doing. It's eating itself alive every time. So, eat right. Well, try to. And, don't be too good to yourself. Alright. It has actually been 2 weeks. It was 194 194.1, 194.2, something like that. Sorry, not 190. 94.1, 94.2. Now it's 93.3. So it's been about 2 weeks. I've lost just under a kilo. Just what I was afraid of. Not an awful lot of weight loss going on there. And the reason being, didn't lose an awful lot this time around. It's been 2 weeks. I might have gotten a bit excited a couple of weeks ago and then taken it easy on myself for a fair few days. I wasn't eating more, but I had decided I'd mentally decided to reward myself with sugariness. So icy pole sticks, it's really just frozen water is what you tell yourself. Frozen water and a little bit of sugar, a bit of jelly, and what else was there? Fruit juice and soda water mixed together. Trying to keep I thought I was doing the right thing by myself, but the sugar really stopped me from losing any weight. Sunday. Alright, 93.2 is the number to beat. Oh. I don't need the silly countdown. Well, there I am. Ta-da. Didn't lose anything. This is reminiscent of 2 weeks ago, where I did not lose anything then either. Maybe it's every second week. It's slowed down, so maybe half kilos aren't really being noticed that much. I'm going down by halves, and I can only hope. We'll wait and we'll see next week and figure out what's going on. Okay, best to beat is 93.2. Bound to be, because last week it was 93.2 for the second week running. So here we go. Are you kidding me? This is freaking awesome. It's like a kilo. So what's that, half a kilo a week? Yay! 92.2. There's Tubby Belly. Okay, the belly, Mr. Tubby is still a little bit tubby, but I'm working on it. And what I'm doing now is I'm looking at this. Okay, between there and there, this should not be. So that's my goal right now. That's how I'm measuring myself, based on this flappiness here that shouldn't exist. And for that to disappear, I presume it's going to go all the way across. And that is probably the difference between 92.3 and 82.3. Well, I don't know, 92.2 and 82.2 is probably this strip. Based on my height, 82 is probably a very good weight I wouldn't want to go under. So I'm thinking I'll be happy. Once I hit 85, I'll be happy. And obviously I'm going to try and float around the 82 mark. So another 10 kilos, that is another 3 months of this. Alright, it's been another 2 weeks. Trying to beat 92.2, just trying to remember that. 91.3. So 2 weeks and not quite a kilo. That's quite frustrating. There I am, still losing the weight. I still don't have access to the gym room downstairs. It's still closed off. So right now it's just, not eating very much at all. And yeah, I write, so that leaves me sitting at a computer a fair bit. I'm not getting an awful lot of exercise. I'm not exactly going for jogs or long walks or anything like that. So a part of me wants the gym room to reopen, but then another part of me thinks, maybe I don't want that to happen. Maybe I would prefer it if that room stayed decommissioned while I lost the weight, as kind of like a personal experiment into, do I really need to be exercising to be losing weight, or is weight loss more about just controlling what you eat? And exercise is more for building up muscle and those sorts of things. I don't know. I'm feeling fairly good in the old heart region, but I haven't been for any kind of jogs or anything. There's no real way of telling. So I don't know. I guess one step at a time, one day at a time, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Well, it's been another 2 weeks, and I'm at 91 kilos still. I haven't actually lost anything in 2 weeks. Kind of, well, it's depressing considering my goal is 80 and I'm sitting on 91. So here I am. I'm back at the gym room. They've opened it up. They've allowed the public back in from whatever disaster it was that they had. So I'm still wearing my silly gym stuff and still got my wiggly wobbly belly. And I have, what's over here? Ta-da! The bike. Wish I could figure out how to work these camera things. And it looks like it's busted. Clean off. There ain't no way of getting that thing back on there. Unless I decide I'm going to go get my toolbox and start pulling it apart. It's really the only thing in this gym room that I really want to use. And it's not working. Being that I have no idea about these crazy looking balls, balancing things. I don't think any of those things are really, same as working out on the bike thing. It's got the little thing that tells me how I'm doing, and looks like it's not doing any of that now. Looks like it's pretty wrecked. So that's me in the gym room, done. Wonderful. I think I will put my sandals on and go for a walk. It's spring. That's going to be my exercise routine now. I think I'll have a half-hour walk. Alright, the score to beat, 91.2. I've cleaned my little thingamajig. It's a tiny little body. 90.1. Slightly over a kilo. It's been 2 weeks. That percentage of fat thing seems to be going down. I guess that means I'm exiting the obesity factor and heading towards the normal factor. Yay! Another kilo. 91.2 down to 90.1. Rock and roll! Still got a bit of a tubby there. Not much though. I think it's starting to head away. I've got a bit around the sides there, and I feel like it's a little bit of loose skin, but it's probably just the last pockets of fat that haven't gone yet. So, fat leaves in different places at different times, and while it looks like it's a little bit of loose skin, it's probably just the last dregs of my fattiness. So, still working on it. I've got another 10 kilos to go. Well, nearly 10 kilos to go. I aim to be somewhere in the low 80s. If I fight really hard to get to 80 kilos, then I should be able to fluctuate around the 80 kilo mark and remain healthy. So, 80 to 83 would be nice. 83 is a reasonable amount to be fluctuating up to. So yeah, 10 more kilos. One day at a time. Another 2 weeks. Trying to beat 91.1 or something? Well, I guess I'll find out when I look at the video footage. It looks like it's beating with my heart 88.9. Rock and roll. 88.9, people. 88.9. So, still working on it, obviously, but it's mostly gone now. There's a little bit of this sort of fat deposits in unusual places remaining, but mostly speaking, it's not looking too bad. I haven't weighed this much in probably 20 years. Used to, it's an interesting little side note. There's forms you fill out depending on what you're doing for a living, and I've done a lot of different things for a living. Some of the forms tell you that you have to put down how much you weigh, obviously. Well, not so obviously, I don't really see the relevance, but yeah, you have to do it. It was an embarrassing thing. But only now, thinking back to it, was it an embarrassing thing. At the time, it was just, okay, fill out my height and my weight. And I'd think to myself, well, they don't realise it's all muscle. It wasn't all muscle. And then you'd fill out other forms and it would say, what size would you consider yourself to be? Medium, large, extra large, small. All the small never even enters my head. But I used to fill out large, thinking, well, I am a bit large, but I'm not too big. And then politely later, the person would change it, and I'd think, okay, well, that's their size of clothing, that's their fitting. No, it's me. It was me. Other times you fill out the little weight thing, and it tells you greater than 100 kilos, greater than 110, all those sorts of things. And I'd fill that out, and I'd think, how dare they ask me that when they have no idea whether it's fat or muscle. It's just a rude question. Again, lying to myself the whole time, thinking, no, justifying my weight, and not consciously doing it. Only now thinking about it was I doing it. But I was justifying my weight incorrectly. It was fat. It was me. It wasn't muscle. Sure, I'm not a weak kind of person, but I'm not He-Man. I've just got fat, and it's got to go. Here we go. Another 2 weeks. Squat a beat 89. Drum roll, please. Kicking it. Technically, 2 weeks and 1 day, but who's counting? I'm guessing that means the next 2 weeks will be very difficult, because trying to lose another kilo when I've just lost a bit over, not going to be easy, that's for sure. 87.6. I should take a moment to gloat a moment. It's a work in progress. There it is there. I'm not holding it in when I do that. That's kind of now how it is. That's kind of poking it out. I don't know. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I know I've still got this. This would be about the remaining 7 to 8 kilos, or 7 kilos kicking around. It's predominantly skin, I would say. Skin and a little bit of fat in there. And that will just, I will consume myself. Still very hungry every day. It really is just a matter of saying no when other people are saying yes, when things are put in front of you. Something occurred to me the other day. For the longest of time, I was eating because I felt like I had to eat when I had opportunity to eat, because you don't know when your next meal's coming. And then you evolve to the point where if you've got enough money coming in, you're eating almost like a way of boasting. Yes, I can afford this. Ha ha! I can afford all of it. I will eat because I can afford it. And now it's a matter of, well, wait, I don't need to eat just because I can. I can just say no, and I'm sure the hungriness will settle down once I reach the goal and eat a level meal. Everything will balance out neatly. Alright, so 2 weeks ago I hopped on this beastie, but I didn't hit the record button, so a dog ate my homework. Last you would have seen was 87.6, 2 weeks ago 87, but yeah, oops, didn't record it. Now 86.4. So my decrease in weight is definitely slowing down. Drat. Working on it. A little bit more to go yet, and then should be rock and roll. Another 6 kilos to go, and I don't know. Maybe it's my motivation. I should be pumping that 1 kilo every 2 weeks is what I should be pumping. Half a kilo. That's kind of disappointing. But at any rate, 86 point something or other. I guess I'll look at the thing again in a minute and work that out. Last time, I tell you, when I didn't hit the record button, oh, the speech I gave, the words, I was using sentences. It was wonderful. Anyway, see you in another 2 weeks, hopefully. Alright, another 2 weeks. Last you saw 86.4. Let's rock and roll. 86. Still heading in the right direction, slowly but steady. It's such small little increments that, I could be believing that I'm not actually losing any weight at all. And every time I hop on the scales, I sort of think, well, lately, for the last, couple of things you probably notice, I don't know. But, I kind of get this feeling that I'm not really losing any weight. But then when you look over a period of time, those not very much at alls all add up. And so long as I'm not going up, as long as those numbers are going down, I'm heading in the right direction. And, it's not like I'm on a set time frame of I want to be thin by, or I want to be X weight by such and such a date. I just want to keep on getting healthier and keep on heading in the right direction. So, yeah, I mean, it's 0.4 of a kilo. It's, within margin of error, but it's always within margin of error, and it's always on the right side of that margin of error. It's always going in the right direction. I'm always losing rather than gaining that little tiny bit. And since I'm doing it at the same time of the week, and I'm doing it at the same time of the day, and I'm doing it under similar circumstances, that's the best opportunity for me to get results that reflect, my actual condition. So here I am, looking the way I am. I'm actually feeling pretty good about this. These pants, they're starting to get a little baggy. Could probably push that out a little bit, It's actually not feeling too bad right now. So yeah. What have I got? A personal goal would be another 5 to 6 kilos still. So that'd be another 5 to 6 months at this rate. But hey, who's counting? Right, so last you saw, 2 weeks, 86. What have I done in the last 2 weeks besides getting bitten to death by mosquitoes? 84.7. So just over a kilo in 2 weeks. Not bad. Yeah, okay. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Another couple of weeks and a whole kilo. Obviously, it's averaging out. It's not just over the last 2 weeks. You got to look at the whole couple of months and everything like that. It's a little bit each time. Last time I probably hopped on while I was still, I don't know, full, and then this time, who knows? Whatever. I don't know the magic science of it all. I just know not eating as much and feeling a lot better. So that's actually really, I guess I've got another 4 or nearly 5 kilos to go. That's not a lot. That's 10 pounds to go. I keep doubling, but you know, it's just over 10 pounds. So who knows? At any rate, the numbers will add up at the end of the day, and feeling pretty good there. Okay, so when last we tuned in, when I say we, I mean me, I was at 84.6. 83.9. Okay, so slow and steady wins the race. Still heading in the right direction. A little bit every time, every 2 weeks or so. At least I'm not going up, I'm definitely going down. That's me right now, me in a nutshell. So one day at a time, guys. Sorry for giving you the finger there. Anyway, yeah, just holding back on eating too much food, still having dinner every day. I'm eating probably about once a day right now, sometimes twice a day, and I might have a snack in the middle somewhere, but I'm eating when I'm hungry, and I'm not eating to the point of no longer enjoying the eating. It's no longer exhausted after I've ate. Like, my God, I had so much. Why punish myself? Why do that? That's just silliness. The world isn't coming to a point where I'm going to have to live off my own body fat. Anyway, yeah, so that's me, and you know, one day at a time. All right, 83.9. Here we come. $82.8. Ooh, it's touch and go for a moment there. 82.8. Woohoo! Okay, that is another kilo in 2 weeks. Really just, you know, reducing the food. Still feeling kind of hungry. Had a couple of binge fests over the last couple of weeks where it was literally licorice and junk chips and stuff like that. So, you know, I guess you got to reward yourself and give into it. But I felt really bad afterwards. Not emotionally, not like guilty or anything, but I felt bad physically. Like my body was angry at me. I hurt all over. I felt sleepy. I couldn't sleep. I was up. I was down. My feet were wobbling. It was not good. So I guess that was my body's way of saying, naughty, no sugar. You know, roll up the newspaper, smacked me on the nose. Love my junk, but apparently I don't love my junk anymore. It's a nightmare to consume. Anyway, getting there. What's that mean? About another 2 kilos to go, a bit over 2 kilos. Okay, so 3 weeks. Where are we up to? Kicking the machine, that's where we're up to. Okay. 82.1. I think that's down almost a kilo, not quite. 82.1. Okay, there I am there. I'm thinking I'm pretty done. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, my goal was 80, but it was really somewhere between 80 and 85, just, you know, in the low 80s. And it's, you know, 3 weeks I've lost almost a kilo. I think I'm leveling out, and I think I'm fairly happy at where I'm at. So that's got to be good news. I'm just moving my little camera thing around. I'm hopeless with these things. Anyway, so yeah, that's me. I think I've done it for now. I've gone from about 110 down to just over 80, so 82 kilos. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. It's taken me a good 6, maybe 8 months in total, maybe a little bit more really. I made that series of little video clips and started putting it together. I think I stopped the dieting process or the weight control process, I don't know what you want to call it. I stopped doing that about a month ago, and I've just been so busy with day-to-day life and my writing and stuff that I haven't had time to compile it all and create this video. But I tell you right now, I'm at 81, just under 81 kilos. So it has leveled off and it has stayed at a smooth, oh, look at that. That's some good straight lines there. You see that? That's a good straight line. It's remained consistent. My weight has remained consistent. That's the main thing. So I'm feeling a lot more energetic, a lot healthier, a lot more lively. I'm sleeping better. And I'm actually eating, I think, 1 meal a day. And it's only because I'm feeling hungry once a day. So I've retrained my stomach, and that's the way I'm geared towards. That said, it's not for everybody. It really is a genetic thing, I believe, where personally I'm more geared towards eating once a day or maybe even less. It really is just how my body is built. Other people may be geared towards having lots of shorter meals. That might be simply how they are built. The analogy is with the coffee situation. If you look at a person's DNA, you can actually tell whether they digest coffee quickly or caffeine quickly, or if it takes them a long time to digest caffeine. So caffeine affects me very differently to the way it affects my wife. It will take me half a day to absorb caffeine, whereas she can absorb caffeine and turn it over and have lots of coffee. If I have coffee, it's going to last me all day and half the night, and maybe I won't sleep. That's just our different hardwiring. It's the same when it comes to intake. We are all very unique people, and my journey in life is going to be very different to yours. Okay, anyway, I will be uploading more videos. I will be saying hello from time to time. I just wanted to stop by and say good day and let you know where I'm at.